Hello, my ESA friend. It has been a minute since I've seen you, and I am so sorry. I wish I had so much more time to pour into this channel, but I don't. So I find unique opportunities like this. It's the 2024-2025 renewal. I have to work through all these contracts, so I thought I'd just make it a win-win, and as I'm going through them, I can just show you what I've seen, talk it out with you so that you can see it in plain English. I go through a lot of contracts in my job, so I'm pretty familiar with reading them. Give you some stuff to watch out for and thoughts, and then let's go, right? So this is the ESA contract renewal. This is for one of my 7 kiddos. I'm gonna blur out some of the information on the screen just cause, you know, right. So first off, it's just saying this is for the 24-25 contract year. Here's the student, blurred that out. Here's the amount that has been distributed on a per quarter basis. We'll get this into our ESA account so that we can use that for our students. Now, they're gonna go through all of the terms and conditions and everything else with this. First off, they're saying, hey, if you, this is for the 2024-2025, so this will go through as you can see right here, June 30th, 2025, unless you get terminated. So what would cause you to get terminated? Well, if you violate any of the terms of this contract or misuse the ESA funds, you could end up suspended, and you've got, take a look at number B, it says 15 business days to remedy that, or your account may be terminated. Now that's not saying it will, it may be, but don't mess around with that, because here's what that means. You're gonna get, if you misuse funds or they think you've misused funds, you're gonna get an email and they're gonna say, hey, your account's suspended. Within 15 days, if you haven't replied and started the remedy process, they may terminate you, which means all the funds in your account are gone. Now, I'm sure there's ways to get that back. You can go through litigation, and why do you want to do that? Don't do that. So I know with all of the junk filtering, the other tab, the promo tab, emails are so easy to lose nowadays. Put ESA on your, I have it forward to anything with ESA coming in. I see it forwards automatically to my wife, so she sees it. I don't want to mess around with this. So it says, so don't do that. If you contact the third-party vendor directly, who is that? Well, the Arizona Department of Education is all about, you know, they've got their people and their people have their people and class-wide, like, essentially what they're saying is if you try and work around us to the people that we're using to distribute funds, like you try and contact banks or stuff, we're not gonna mess with that, and we're gonna immediately terminate your account. Again, you lose all your funds if that happens. Don't do that. If you have any fraud, you're out. If ADE terminates this prior to the end of the term, you forfeit all the rights to the funds that are in the account, and you may be responsible for paying them back for funds that you've used from the account previously if you're found that to be fraudulent. Again, don't buy stuff that isn't clear in the handbook that this is allowed. I have other videos on this channel. If I had time to edit this thing, I'd have little pop-ups right now. Bloop, 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 bloop. Just look on the channel. Here's the things that are valid to use for it, including sports, including furniture. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can use this for because you have a school in your house. Okay, moving on. So it says pursuant parent may, like, you can appeal if they try and terminate you, but yeah, again, that's why I'm like, trust me, I've been in government litigation before. Just avoid it. They will outlast you, okay? Holder obligation. So it says that you have read the contract, you will abide by the contract. You will not share your login credentials. Like, don't give your credentials to your ESA account to somebody else that's not responsible for that. If they figure out that you're doing that, they'll terminate you. If you enroll in a school district or a charter school, they'll terminate you. And again, that means you'll lose your funds and you're responsible for paying stuff back that you've already used. So it says using ESA funds. Yep, you got to do it according to the ESA Parent Handbook. You cannot, do not try to withdraw cash from your ESA account. You can make purchases with debit for authorized things. You cannot try to withdraw cash. If they see you doing that, that is an immediate termination of the contract. This is a fun video. Public school enrollment. If you enroll in public school, you lose your ESA funds. If you try to use the STO program, so before there was Arizona ESA, there was STO where you could like give money, like other people could get tax benefits by giving money to STO organizations, and you could use that for what we're using ESA for nowadays. You cannot double dip. You can't use ESA and STO. They find out you're doing it, you're terminated. This really is. This is the most fun video ever. It's like so optimistic. Public school services. You can't use public school services, right? That means like you're choosing to homeschool or you're choosing to use ESA funds for private school. So you can't just go in and start using those funds or using a lot of the state funded services at public schools, right? If you're misrepresenting information, you're terminated. If you need to have your bank set up with the third-party vendor that's handing out these funds, you could say that's Class Wallet, but there's also other vendors that are involved there. Don't be fraudulent. If you are caught being fraudulent, they terminate you, and you owe funds, they can turn you over to collection to get those funds from you. So that means you're looking at things like them holding paychecks, hitting your credit score, like that. It's not a good place to be. Choice of law, this is governed by the rules in Arizona. If you are, let's see, ABEs and SBE failure to strictly enforce, okay, so if they don't enforce something in here, that doesn't mean that everything's null and void. It's kind of like, hey, you got lucky, so they will have no problem enforcing anything else. Conflict of interest, everything else is like blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna blur all this. This is my personal stuff. So that's it. Worthwhile note. It does say non-availability of funds. I don't know if this was in previous ones. If it was, I mean, it may be just a standard thing, but it's pretty much saying, hey, if Arizona runs out of money and the funds aren't available, then sorry, the ESA program isn't going to be able to pay you. That's kind of a big deal. And I would say vote wisely. There's one party that likes ESA and there's one party that doesn't like ESA. Vote for the party that does, right? I'm saying that because YouTube may filter my video or ban me because we live in a strange time. So from here on out, they're just saying, hey, you know, we're going to be watching the transactions and everything else, and then you sign. So that's it. That's the 2024-25 renewal. As you can see, a very optimistic thing of just like all of these things are ways that you could lose your funds. So I'm going to emphasize again, check the other videos on this channel. These are appropriate ways to use the fund. Don't mess around. They will terminate you. And trust me, I've done some things that they're like, it's all been legit, but they're like, yeah, like they are watching. It's not just like free money, go for it, right? All right. Hope this is helpful. I'll see you hopefully soon in the next ESA video.